Tip-top of the evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports Final. The phone call itself came just 48 hours after his star turn at the Saturday Night Live Elite Talent Spotlight Camp in Eugene, Oregon, courtesy of University of Oregon Ducks running back coach Jim Mastro, with an offer that would catch its recipient quite off guard.
It was like 7 at night. He texted me, he's like, "Can you call me?" I was like, "Oh no," And then I called him, and then he mentioned the running back thing again, standout, and he was just like, "You had what we want," and he was like, "We'd like to offer you a scholarship." And so I kind of went silent. My exact words were, "Oh my gosh." And then right after that, I got off the phone, told my mama.
Understandably, Aneyas Williams was left a bit awestruck, as his entry into the high-stakes world of college football recruiting has been atypical, to say the least. Generally speaking, that first offer doesn't come from a blue blood program like Oregon, nor is it usually presented to a kid who hasn't yet even taken the first snap of his sophomore season of high school. But clearly, the Hannibal All-Stater turned some heads at the Ducks' Saturday Night Live camp last weekend, even if he didn't think his own work there was anything particularly unusual.
I mean, I really just did my thing. I didn't feel like I did anything spectacular besides, really just not messing up, which I guess helps. And, I did the drills. I will say I was the first person to pop up for each drill that we did.
Which, from a total picture standpoint, not only honors Aneyas Williams' outwork everyone personal default.
Yeah, that's really the mindset I had going in. I didn't expect this to happen, but for sure, just get a big camp out there, look at all these prospects and talent, and see. I was trying to figure out where I was at as a player at the same time going into this. So, it really just all worked out.
But that same ethic grafted onto a player who passes the eye test may be better than any high school football player of his age that has ever come through the Tri-States certainly explains the appeal to a staff like Oregon's. It's not just the physical tools, but the weight room sweat equity he's paid that is impossible to ignore and beguiling to those whose livelihood depends on projecting what he could be at the next level.
I will say a lot of people notice my physique. I was definitely blessed for sure, because I didn't really start lifting until 7th grade. But, it just matured me. It's really just a focus place. I knew I had to put on some weight, get bigger. I had to stand out somehow. At the start, I will say it was just like, okay, gotta go lift. But it was never really on my own. But now it's gotten to the point where it's on my own. I enjoy it. I enjoy getting myself better. And then also being here with my teammates, can't beat it.
It is that same dedication that may allow him to outgrow his current position. Williams is now up to 190 pounds with a 315-pound bench press and a 4.6 40 time that feels a little slow if you've ever seen him on the track. And Aneyas admits that the Oregon staff talked to him about some defensive back work while he was there, which he will play in high school for the first time this fall. He also now knows this offer has made him a measuring stick for every kid and every team he plays for the next 3 years.
For the next 2 years, you're the guy that got the Oregon offer, and everybody that you see every week in football is going to be testing themselves against you.
Good.
Do you welcome that? Do you welcome that challenge, and what does that mean to you?
Yeah, that's just going to make me work harder, so watch out for them.
And yes, his cell phone is feeling the effects of Aneyas being thrust so abruptly into the national recruiting spotlight.
Definitely a lot more attention now, and I was told by a lot of people that would happen. It's not a bad thing, but definitely can't let it get to me. Stay humble.
But he's also appreciative of having the luxury of time to find his own best possible collegiate scenario.
Yeah, definitely just let it all play out, because now I feel like the eyes are going to be coming in, so the more of going to camps and stuff will probably, this summer is definitely going to be big again. I'll get after it. And then junior summer, I'd probably slow down a little bit and just start to focus in on my decisions and where I want to go and just work at it.
And again, we'll have much more with the Hannibal Pirates and all the area football teams as barnstorming arrives tomorrow night. That's right, Saturday. As we get an early start on things, we will spotlight the Fort Madison Bloodhounds to open things up coming up on Saturday, and on Sunday, we'll check in with the Central Lee Hawks. The Quincy University men's basketball team welcomed 19 foursomes to Spring Lake Country Club this afternoon for its inaugural Hoops Masters Scramble. Among them, one of the most successful coaches in program history afforded a sort of homecoming.
It was such a huge part of my life. I spent 11 years here total, and the city of Quincy, the community, the university, the basketball program, they remain a huge part of me. They really do. And so coming back and seeing some of the guys, getting a chance to play with a couple of former assistant coaches today of mine, bring back a lot of memories.
And if you are not aware, Steve Hawkins has enjoyed a really interesting second basketball act since his departure from Division I Western Michigan. He is now the host of the very popular Next Possession podcast, a kind of couch confessional for the biggest names in the college coaching business to just come on and chat.
Well, my wife has always said I like to talk, so trying to turn making a living, you know how to do. You know how this goes. Now it's been a lot of fun. More than anything else, it's just been a lot of fun through the pandemic. We're locked in our homes, so starting the podcast was just something that sort of came natural, and knew enough people to make it hopefully interesting. So I wouldn't have thought that this would be what I would be doing for a long time. But it's been a lot of fun.
Do you think the reason for the success is just how natural the conversation is? Because it is you with friends.
It is. These are people that I know, and so it is. I think it does. I don't not to knock you or anybody else in the media, but I'm not media. I'm one of them. I'm a former coach, so we've sat on the sidelines together. We've most likely had a couple of beers together at some point in time. And so. They're not threatened because I'm not going to ask those kind of questions.
And that wraps up this edition of Sports Final. Again, coming up tomorrow, we barnstorm with the Fort Madison Bloodhounds. I will see you then.